I know a lot of you are planning to take your spouse or your friend out to a special dinner to celebrate special time. And if my memory is right, I don't remember that I spent the time really together in church, especially Valentine's Day weekend with my wife. I know she's probably not happy with me for many, many years because I don't remember Valentine's Days because my background culture didn't have Valentine's Day. She put up with me for many years, and she's here with me, and probably I better do this so I can be safe in my home tonight. She's here with me this morning. Would you stand up, Annette? And I am glad that she's with me today. I know everywhere I go for the meetings, and they're asking, where is your wife? I said, she's working. She's a teacher. So it's hard for her to go with me anywhere I go for the meetings and everywhere. So she stays at school and working, and I'm by myself. A lot of people think I have no wives. I married with her for 35 years. I was thinking about what should I say today and relate it with the love. Now, I was remember, I'm going to ask you, so you better prepare for my question. I was remember when I was fifth grade. We moved to a different town, and first day I went to the church. You know, when you are fifth grade age, you don't want to get up early in the morning, you want to sleep in, but mom woke me up, time to go to church, so we went to church. In my junior class, I saw a girl there, first Sabbath. And that time, the culture was you don't go and talk to girls like that. And we sit, there's a girl's idol and there's a boy's idol. You don't even mix together. So I was watching her, I said, wow. And my eyes couldn't move from her, so I was watching her all the time. And I said, wow. But I couldn't say anything to her. It was not my custom. Next Sabbath, guess what I did? Before my mom woke me up, I got up, said, Mom, time to go to church. So I went to that junior class and just watching her. It was exciting time in the morning when Sabbath comes. I said, it's time to go to church because somebody took my heart. This morning, I want to ask you, are you happy this morning to be here in this church? Because you are in love with Jesus. Let us open Bible first, John chapter 1. There's a story about Peter. When Peter met Jesus first time, when Jesus called him to follow him, he said, wow, this is the man that I need to follow. This is the man that I want to be with. His brother Andrew came to him and said, brother, I met Messiah, a man who called Messiah. You want to come? You need to come to see him. Peter went, met Jesus, and he decided, I'm going to follow him. Then we want to go to Luke chapter 5. This is about story we want to talk about this morning. This is a story that Jesus was telling disciples to go to the deep sea and throw the nets so they can catch a lot of fish. But before we go that far, let's go to chapter 5, verse 5. But Simon answered and said to him, Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let down the net. Now, Peter is following Jesus' order. Now we need to go back a little further on this chapter here. Now at this point, Peter met Jesus before Jesus came to see him this time. But verse 5 indicating that they were working that night, all night in the sea, trying to catch fish. When you are in love with somebody, when you like somebody, you want to give everything you have. I know a lot of you tomorrow probably you go out and buy, the men probably, you're going to go buy some roses and then trying to show that you're going to give everything you have to your spouse. Peter was in love with Jesus first time he met. Yet he was in the sea trying to catch fish. Peter was a fisherman, right? That was his job. He was a professional fisherman. He was very good to catch the fish. And he went back to work after he met Jesus first time. We talk about a lot of fish here, but Peter was professional and he knows how to fish. And we know that there was a lot of fish in their lakes because they caught a lot of fish. I was living Houston area many years ago. We had a chance to get on the deep fishing boat. So we went inside all the way far away from the land and about 2 hours riding the boat, and then the captain said, it's time to fish. When I look at that, the water, I said, man, there's no fish here. How do you know there's a fish? The captain said, there is a fish under here, and you need to throw your fishing pole there and trying to catch the fish. And I had a lot of doubts. I said, there is no fish under the water. It's too deep. I threw the fish pole there and then waited. And about a couple of minutes later, I can feel there's something in the other end. Then I realized that captain knew exactly where to go and when to throw the fishing pole there and how to catch the fish. And I didn't know anything about the fishing. I learned many things on that day. But Peter was a professional, just like this captain. He knew exactly where to go to catch the fish. And he said he toiled all night. Even I'm not professional to catch the fish, but when I go to the ocean, throw something, I can catch something. But the Bible said they spend all night, catch nothing. Is it possible? Have you thought about that angle? That is it possible that you worked all night in the sea and you cannot catch any fish? Peter was crushed. I am professional, I can't catch fish or any fish all night. He was disappointed. He was very upset. Probably he said, forget about this. Maybe throw the towel and say, I'm done with the fishing. When Jesus met Peter first time. Jesus knew exactly who Peter was. Desire of Ages talk about Peter at this stage. He was working part-time as a disciple. He met Jesus, he wanted to follow Jesus, but his heart was in his job, fishing. So the description was a part-time love. I don't know how many of you do that in your personal time. We do quite often. I have to be careful with this before I get in trouble with my family here. I spend a lot of time in my work. Sometimes too much. I don't even come home until late night. Yet I come home, say, I love you. I'm here for you. Peter was in love with Jesus, yet he was spending time in the ocean trying to catch fish. Jesus knew exactly what he needs to do with Peter. So Jesus allowed for Peter to go out to catch nothing for all night. I don't know how you can understand the feeling of that disappointment, discouraging when you can do anything. Every day you do it, nothing goes right. Every day you go out and trying to accomplish and nothing finishing it. You come home and your body is all tired and your mind is tired. I said, I don't know, I can do this anymore. Maybe some of your students give you a hard time, or your neighbors, your friends give you a hard time. We are ready to give up in that close. And Jesus knew exactly about that Peter. I have a winter camp that I'm running with Korean students. They're coming from Korea every year. In that program, we have an Orlando trip where I take kids to Orlando to show Disney World or SeaWorld and all that. This year, it was a couple of weeks ago, I took them 24 kids to Orlando. My most concerning when I take them to Orlando is safety. Make sure I don't lose them. So we put them on neon jacket. We order special jacket for them so I can spot it from a mile away when I lose them. So we put on the jacket and we walk around, and after about an hour later, whole park, the policemen or security people know who we are because they can see us very well. Last couple of weeks ago when we were there, we want to stay there to watch fireworks. And it was an Epcot Center, so fireworks starts after sunset. So we took extra time to walk around and all that, and we keep saying, stay as a group, don't walk away from us. It's important. If we lose you, we can't find it at night. It's hard to find it because we can see the neon color at night. So we are giving all the instructions after again and again and again. So make sure they stay as a group. They follow the instructions. We hear the speaker, the music coming on. Now it's time to start fireworks. So we are all staying in one area, and it's hard to count the numbers when sun goes down, and when it's a little dark, it's hard to counting 24 numbers. So I was assuming I have all 24 kids around me. So I was watching, trying to enjoy the fireworks coming up soon, and the music and the fireworks coming up, and my phone ringing. I'm not going to answer my phone this time. Then phone ringing again. So I looked at it, and I looked at my phone. It's Orlando phone number. I said, nobody can call me in Orlando. I mean, I have no friends in Orlando. So I picked it up, the phone, and the other voice says, this is the daycare center in Epcot Center. I said, why the daycare center is calling me? And do you have a girl with a neon jacket on? By that time, and I'm turning around and trying to count the head numbers of what I have, but I couldn't because they're all mixed with other people, and I couldn't see the colors. And then she's telling me that the name of that girl and where she is, and I need to come and pick her up. I have been doing the Orlando trip last almost 10 years and haven't had this problem. And I was always thought that I am pretty good organizing, not losing kids. One year I took 60-some kids and I had any problems. And 24 kids, now I'm getting a phone call. My heart was beating. What's going on? What did I do wrong? Why did I didn't count in all the heads? Why did let this thing happen? What's going on? I mean, I was very discouraged, hurt, and frustrated, and I'm running now faster to that direction, and I could not find the daycare sign, and I passed it. Then I had to ask somebody and come back, and then I am all this 3 minutes after I received the phone calls. It seems like 3 hours. Keep pounding myself. Even I said, this is my last trip coming to this Orlando now. I'm not going to come back again. I walked into the daycare room, and then I opened the door, and the girl was sitting with a neon jacket on and was crying. And as soon as she saw me, and she got up, and this is not their culture either. They are not giving her to people, but she got up and hugged me, and then the lady didn't say anything. They knew that she's my girl, and she said, have a fun evening, and I took her out of the room, and we're walking. Just 30 seconds ago, that feeling that I can't describe about what I need to do on this case was all gone. It was not there. Just watching her again and grabbing her hands and walking back to the group. Wow, thank you, Lord. And you did it again. It was so different feelings, just 30 seconds before and 30 seconds after. Now, Peter was sitting there, didn't catch a fish all night, frustrated, disappointed, and ready to give it up. And 2 boats was there, and Jesus walked into Peter's boat. Jesus walked into the Peter's boat and sat down on the boat. Now, I was thinking this. If Peter caught a lot of fish that night, if there was no room for Jesus to come into the boat, maybe the story would be different. If I didn't lose that girl that night, probably I never would have thought again about Orlando trip. Maybe I would never look over again my schedule and planning. Because of that moment that we didn't have that girl for 5 minutes, Jesus walked in to the Peter's boat. Now he's telling him, go to the deep area and throw the net. Peter's arguing with Jesus. Hey, Master, I am professional. I know what I'm doing. I know what to do with catch the fish. And you are telling me go to the deep area? How many times do we say that? Lord, I know what I'm doing it. I've been doing this for all my life. I'm experts on this work. But Peter's answer was, I will do this because you tell me to do. He's telling us many times, but we don't hear. He's showing us many directions we don't follow because we feel like we know what we are doing. I have a little story here. This is not true story. So kids, don't take this as a true story. You know, when you talk to kids, you have to make a little story out of something. There's a group of Satan sitting together and having board meeting, trying to discuss to develop weapons to destroy Adventists. So one of the board members of that group says, you know what? I know what's the best weapon for the Adventists we can do. And Chair Satan says, what is it? It's temptation. We can give them temptation. We can give them temptation and food. We can give them temptation with their clothing. We can give them temptation with the relationship. And we can give them temptation on Sabbath issues. Oh, man, we got them. The other one said, no. Suffering is a better weapon. We can give suffering so they can find the jobs on Sabbath. We can give suffering, they lose their friends. We can give them suffering so they can stay away from the church. Then the other one said, no, this is a better one. We can give them persecutions. We can try to destroy them. Then another one said, no, we'll give them fear so they can fear about Jesus. They'll obey the law with the fears. That last one said, no, I know you guys. Those are really good weapons. We can destroy them with those weapons. But the best one, we make them lose their heart so they will not have a heart. When we go through the trials, when we go through the problems, when we facing issues with our love life, when we're facing with a friendship, relationship, we all go through these feelings that Peter was feeling on the boat that he can't do anything right. When I was walking on the road trying to find that girl, I said, I can't do anything right this week, tonight. What happened? I'm trying to lose my heart. The heart that should have focused on Jesus. I believe when Jesus was planning for Peter to not catch any fish all night, Jesus knew exactly what to do. And when we go through all this trial, when we go through all the problems, when we see all the issues, He knows exactly what we need to do. As Peter coming in with an empty boat, if we empty our hearts, let Jesus walk into your heart, we will not have any problems because He is in control. He is the one who's going to help us to catch a lot of fish to fill our boat. It's not our ability. It's not what I know what I'm doing. It's not because of I have a talent to do. It's not because I learned how to do. It's because Jesus is with us. Because He is the one who is in our boat, telling us, go there, throw your net. There's a lot of Bible text I was going to share with you this morning, but I'm not going to because they gave me Pacific time that I need to finish it. So they did pretty good keeping up their time. So I'm going to read one more text. Genesis chapter 28, verse 15. Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go and bring you back to this land. For I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken to you. Now, we need to read a little more behind this text. Jacob is running away from his house because he was afraid about his brothers killing him. Now he ran. The scholar calculated the time he left his home, the place at the Bethel that he meeting Jesus here, is about, they are calculating about 100 kilometers. Which means he ran, this is the second night he was there, second night. So he ran about 50 kilometers a day. I know if I say kilometers, you're trying to calculate miles, and it's how does going back and forth. You know how to do the math, right? 1.6 kilometers is 1 mile. So you try to figure out how far that is. And 50 kilometers for one day, it's pretty far away. You have to probably pretty running speed to get there. So Jacob was pretty afraid. He was scared for his life. He was running it. So he came here struggling after he all did to his brother and father. Now he's sleeping and Jesus coming to him. This is what's awesome about the words, that when we struggle, when Peter struggled, when we have problems, Jesus is always there for us. We just don't see it. When we empty our pride, when we throw away our wisdom, our knowledge, whatever we think we have. And we can see Jesus is right there. And Jacob, when he's running away and he's struggling, he's fear and he's afraid, and then yet Jesus is right there. I am with you. He's telling 4 promises right here. I am with you. I'll keep you wherever you go. I'll bring you back to this land. And I will not leave you until I have done what I promised to you. This morning, I know we have a lot of issues in our hearts. We have problems with the family. We have problems with the churches. We have a lot of issues we have to take care of for our work. All we have to do is just empty your boat. And he will walk into your boat. Then he will tell us, go these directions. Our answer should be, Lord, I know that's not the right directions. I know that's not right things to do, but I am going to do this because you are telling me to do it. In the end, we are going to catch a lot of fish to fill our boat. This is my prayer this morning to you. That as we talk about love, as we talk about this period conference, we must empty our boat to clean up, to be pure, so we can fill in with His love that He gave us this morning. This is my prayer for you. Let's bow our heads for prayer. Father in heaven, what an awesome message you gave us. What an awesome promise you gave us, Lord. That you will be with us all the time. Even in our frustration, even our trial, even in our problems, you know exactly what you are doing. You had a plan for us. We are coming to you, Lord, this morning. We're coming to you to empty our boat and inviting you to come into our boat. And inviting you to tell us what we need to do for your work so we can finish the work for your coming back again. I know we don't have much time left. Lord, come into our hearts. Pray in Jesus' name. Amen.